Okay, to make your creepy creature, you're gonna need 2 papers. One is going to be big and one is going to be small. And most likely your small one is going to be black. There's different colors for the big one, okay? So you're gonna need 1 big one and 1 small one, and they're gonna go like that. Okay, on this one it's the opposite. The black is the big one and the orange is the small one. All right, and if you see, one has orange on the negative space and one has black on the negative space. This one has black on the positive space and this one has orange in the negative space. So we're going to be using space and a reflection here. Okay? So your creature doesn't necessarily need to be creepy, but it's always kind of fun to make something creepy. We're going to take your smaller paper and you're going to fold it in half the vertical way, hot dog way, whatever you want to call it, okay? And on the fold, besides the fold side, besides the open side, on the fold side, you're going to draw half of your creature. Let me show you again. So here's a creature. I'm only going to draw half of it. Do you see how on this one I had it folded there? Okay, so you'll draw this with a pencil. You'll be able to see it on the black paper, but since it won't show in the video, I'm going to draw it with a white colored pencil. So I'm thinking, and you could draw your creature first if that helps you, but I'm going to just do it quickly where I'm going to draw half of the body. This is the center, okay? So this is the top of the head, and then I'm going to draw some horns coming out of my creature. And I'm going to draw some creepy ears coming out of it and a bumpy chin, and how about I draw claws? Do you notice how I'm making everything kind of big? I'm not making anything really small and skinny. I'm going to be cutting all this. Okay, and why don't I make another set of claws? Because, you know, there's no rules about how many claws a creature can have. Okay, and then maybe on this creature, it's going to have a fish tail. Some kind of thing like that. Okay, so this is only half of it. Do you see this is the line of symmetry down the middle? Open it that way. So try to predict right now before I cut it. What is this going to look like when I cut it and open it up? Okay, try to make that prediction in your mind. All right, so I'm going to take my scissors. And normally when you cut things in art, I say, oh, it's okay to cut off a big chunk right here, but don't do that this time. You want to follow the line the whole time. So it's some tricky cutting, which is why I didn't want you to make little tiny lines that are hard to do. Like if you made really tight zigzags, that tends to be really hard to cut out. Okay, so I'm going to cut here, and this is my folded side. I need both pieces there here, so this isn't going to be a scrap. Remember, when you're cutting, turn the paper, not the scissors. So do you see how my scissors hand is holding still? So I'm gonna turn my paper to follow the line, okay? And do you notice how I'm not going chop, chop, chop? That keeps my line from getting all messy. I'm so tempted to snip that right off. Don't do that this time. If you were just doing a regular cutting job, you could do that. If you started to get really frustrated in these inside places of cutting, you could stop, and if it's too hard to get in there, you could stop and start from this side. But I'm keeping that scrap paper. It's not even going to be a scrap, it's going to be part of my project. even mine is a little bit hard to cut out, I'm going to be honest. So don't make yours really small little things. Okay, I've got one arm left to cut out. If I did accidentally cut that by, if it was an accident, don't freak out. We can save it somehow, but try not to do it. This is getting tricky in here. But these cutting skills are good for you. Maybe some of you will become a surgeon someday, huh? And you can come thank me. It's almost done. A little tiny snip. Okay, you got your predictions in your head what it's going to look like when I open these? There's one where the black is the positive space. Now I'm going to open this one. And this one, the orange, is the positive space. Okay, now before I do anything, I'm going to use my glue stick now, and I'm going to glue this down, okay? Make sure they're going the same way. Do you see how the fold is right here going this way? And same thing with this one. You want to keep them the same way while we finish this project. So I'm going to just put some glue in here. Actually, what would be easier is to glue the back of this. I glue the side where the drawing is so that I can cover all that up. So get into these tight spaces with the glue stick. Okay. Okay, don't forget to put your glue stick cap back on. Actually wind it down first. Had a lot of glue sticks dry out. Line it up. All right, so now we can add details. And maybe you won't get to this the first day, that's okay. So now I can add details to this. So I'll fold this back up, and I could cut something out of this tail. Okay. Open it. Make sure it's in the same. Okay, and then before you have a chance to lose that piece, make sure that you glue it down, okay? These little pieces get lost really easily. Okay, I will also give you some paper cutting tools, like maybe you want to use the hole puncher, as long as you don't go crazy with the hole puncher. Sometimes people just like to punch holes for the heck of it. So I did that, and I made some eyes. There should be two that came out here. Again, I'm going to glue those down. Ah, stuck to my finger. Kind of getting the idea here. Glue those down before I lose the pieces. And I even have some fun paper punchers too. So I want to show you that. Okay, so maybe this one won't work very well on here. I just realized it's not the right size. Well, maybe so. Do you see how I can barely fit that triangle in there? This is actually the bottom. Okay, so when I'm hole punching, I'm going to have that be down. Okay, and then I firm push down. Gently slide it out. Okay, I'm going to open my creature back up. So that kind of made a cool shape in there. So now I have to figure out where these triangles go. Okay. You know what? I kind of like that. I'm going to do another one. Do another one in the same spot. Oops. Ooh, that got really close. But it'll still work. Okay, so again, I'm going to glue those down. Now some of you are going to get real fancy with your details on here, which is fine as long as you don't lose your little tiny pieces. When you're all done with the detail work, which might not be till the next day, and that's fine, then you can glue down this part, okay? So I'm not gonna glue this creepy creature until I have cut out any little thing. If I want to cut out a mouth still, I could. If I want to put anything inside the closet, I'm cutting from this one and gluing here right away. All right? Of course, one last thing. Don't forget to put your name and your teacher's initial.